What I'm about to show you right now is exactly why it is so important to be investing in dividend stocks for passive income for at least a portion of your investments. Because over the last few years, I've been investing and growing my portfolio to where I now have 15 different companies that are each paying me an amount in dividends every year, and for some of them every single month. And because of that, I have built up a portfolio that pays me 5 figures in passive income year on year for the rest of my life, and I don't have to do absolutely anything for it. So in today's video, I'll show you how I did it, what I invested in, and how I am moving closer to my goal of financial freedom from investing. But not only that, I'll show you how you can still enjoy your profits along the way to build a better financial life for yourself right now. So let's get started. If you're new, welcome to Casual Cash, where we talk about finance and investing, but most importantly, we share our journeys to build a better financial life for ourselves, and I take you through my own journey in full detail with all of the numbers and real life shares, profits, losses, and passive income. So if you enjoy this stuff, please take 2 seconds to just click the like button below. I really appreciate it. Now, I started investing with absolutely nothing at first, like all of us do, and through a few years of managing my finances carefully, making sure I'm saving each month and investing the difference, I've been able to build up a stock portfolio online that pays me money every single month and year. So we'll get into the numbers and I'll show you exactly each share I'm invested in and how much it's paying me to consider if you want to use them in your own portfolio to build up some passive income for yourself. Now, here's what's different about investing compared to some other ways of generating income. So you may or may not have heard the tale of Sisyphus. Now, this is a tale from Greek mythology, and it tells the story of a king called Sisyphus who betrayed the gods and was sent to Tartarus for his punishment. And his punishment was that every day for eternity he had to push a massive boulder up a steep hill. But the catch was that every time it reached the top, it would roll back down the hill and he would have to start again. And this endless task became a symbol for futile effort and an existential struggle. Now, I'm sure listening to that, you can think of a few things in life that are similar to that struggle. Perhaps it's your job where you need to come in every day and continue to work to get by with no way of stopping because there are bills to pay. Or even something like gym, where you need to constantly work out to keep your figure, and if you stop, you go backwards in your progress. But here is where investing is different, because if you are investing well and using a diversified portfolio and dollar cost averaging and all those good methods, it is not about pushing a boulder up a hill, it's about pushing a boulder up a set of steps. It's still effort, but each time you invest, you are going up a step, and each step you can stop without going back down. You've reached a milestone that, in the grand scheme, you won't go down from. And from that point, you can invest further to reach the next step and the next, and eventually those steps become a downhill. Now, that's simplified because the markets have ups and downs and there is more to it, but over the long term, you are building something rather than going in an eternal circle. So let's talk about dividend investing. Now, there are 15 companies that I have invested in that I have in my portfolio currently. And right next to them here are the amount of shares I have in each of them. And while share prices tend to fluctuate a lot, dividend payments are usually paid as an amount per share, and in general those dividends per share will typically increase each year based on the company's profits. Not always, but if you're investing in stable companies with good growth, that's typically the case. So when you invest, you are buying shares in those companies, and the more shares, the more dividends. So let's go one step further, and I'll show you the percentages each of those companies is paying. So right now, at the time of editing this, here are the percentages each stock is paying out. Now remember I said it's good to have diversification and different levels of risk for your portfolio. That way, some companies may go up and others down, but overall as a collective you should be growing your capital and income. Out of these 15, all of them are in a profit based on total return, which includes dividends. And you can see some stocks are paying double-digit dividends, like Octodec with 11% and QYLD with 12%, but that might make them higher risk. So I have some lower risk shares like the banks, which are between 4 to 7%, and some property companies between 5 to 11%. Overall, it gives me a total average dividend income of 7.38% for my portfolio, which is really good, I think, especially for what I seem to think is a lower risk rating overall than it could be. So in total, based on what I've invested, I'm getting 7.4% in passive income every single year. But here is the important part, because not only that, for this portfolio, I have also made around 30% in returns on my capital investment as well. So you're getting income, but over time you're also growing your capital or your investment. So on that note, let's see just how much I've invested. But before that, a quick update from my last video. As you know, I have goals to get closer to financial retirement this year, so I've been using our budget template each month to track my income and expenses and using what I have left over to invest and grow my passive income. So by using this budget tracker, I was able to save £623 or 14,400 Rand this month, which is massive. It's super simple to fill in. You type in your income categories on one page and it automatically fills for the rest of the year. Then each month, you only fill in the yellow blocks with your income and expenses, and the spreadsheet does all the rest and gives you super powerful insights into your income, including your investment income, as well as your expenses down to every different category, like bills, rent, electricity, shopping, groceries, going out. And it also tracks how much you've put into your investments or savings, or how much you're paying off towards debt each month. It then gives you a breakdown for each individual month and for the entire year, using powerful graphs and charts so you can visually see where your money is going every month. So for the end of January, I picked out 4 investments I'm putting my 14,000 savings into this month for my passive income, because you can only invest as much as you save. So think of it as a tool to increase your investments. It's available in the Casual Cash store, so if you want your own version to track your finances, you can follow the link in the description. Remember, you can clear it every single year and use it again and again indefinitely, just like passive income. Okay, now let me show you my investment amounts, and then I can take you through exactly how much passive income they make me, and most importantly, what you can do with that money today. So these here are the amounts that I have invested, and you can see where I've invested more or less based on how I want to weigh up the risk in my portfolio. In a perfect world, I could put it all in QYLD and make 12% on everything. But then I would miss out on the long-term growth of the S&P 500, where it pays 1% a year and I do an extra manual dividend of 4% a year. So overall, it's a mixture of dividend income and long-term growth and a bit of risk diversification across a few industries. Now, remember that everything I say and show in these videos is just my own journey. I want to show my real facts, figures, wins and losses, but you can base your own investments on your own goals and risk tolerance. But for now, this is how much I've chosen to put in each, and on the Casual Cash Club, I post my real-time investments on the day to show where I'm investing. So if you want to join, there is a link in the description. But right now, as you can see, I have £11,100, or a bit over £250,000. So we've got the companies, the shares, the dividend percentages and the amounts. I'm going to add in the payment frequency, which ranges from monthly, quarterly and 6 monthly. You can pause at any part if you want to see in detail. But now, let's get to the passive income amounts. And these are the dividend payments that I receive from each company each year. And remember, we are talking about passive income here. This is money that I have invested in these companies, and that every single month, 6 months or year, I get paid, no matter what I do or don't do. I don't have to roll a boulder up a hill to get these. I can eat and sleep and do anything I want, and this money will still come in. And not just right now, not just this year, but every single month and year for the rest of my life. When I'm 40, 50, 60, 70, these will still be coming in and growing, and it's something I could pass down to my kids as well for generational wealth. That, my friends, is the beauty of passive income investing. You put money away once, you add a step to your climb, and you get recurring income for the rest of your days. And that money is yours to do what you want with it. You can reinvest it and grow it, or if you want, your passive income can be your travel fund for the year. And once you've invested it, this could pay for a holiday every year again and again. So right now, after starting with zero and slowly adding to this every month, the portfolio is bringing in around £820 or 19,000 Rand every year, no matter what. And personally, I've reinvested some, and some we've used for either part or the full amount of our travels in South Africa, the UK, and recently France. And this last month, using the budget tracker, I've been able to put away a lot more in February, so I'm excited to see what this amount will be at the end of the year. And as always, I'll keep you updated. And guys, that is it for today's video, and that is how over time I have grown a 5-figure passive income portfolio along with all of the companies and dividends for you to see. So if you like this kind of stuff, please like the video so YouTube gives you more of it, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, if you want to use the budget template for yourself, to check out the link in the description. And I will see you guys next time, as always, with more information and inspiration on Casual Cash. Cheers.